Okay, so I'm going to do two of these, one on how to find pulses with a Doppler and the other one on what they mean. I am the least qualified person in the world to do this video, as far as I'm concerned. Until recently I thought artery was something you found in a gallery, but it's fairly straightforward to find the pulses. So we're going to do the dorsalis pedis, the anterior tibial and the posterior tibial. To find the, before you do anything, you need to lubricate all the jelly in the world. Don't scrimp on this. And remember that brilliant underrated film Evolution?
I'll get the lubricant.
There's no time for lubricant. There's always time for lubricant!
So for the dorsalis pedis, you'll find it around about there. So you'll find it between the first and second mets, right up at the top. And the easiest way I find to do that is you can easily find the gap between the first and second mets. It's where the first and second toe gap is. So you start off about there, and then you just draw the probe backwards. Until you land on it. And then once you get near to it, to find a better signal, just sort of very slight movements. So that's a really nice signal. So once again, for this one, it's between the first and second met, and you just draw backwards until you find it. Next one we're going to go for is the posterior tibial, and posterior tibial artery runs between the medial malleolus and the Achilles tendon, and you'll find it usually slightly sort of further up here, so it's not quite in that little cleft. So similar sort of thing, but you start this way and work across. So again, plenty of lubricant. And there we go. Slightly different sound because it's a different type of vessel, but a decent signal. So last one, my least favourite, anterior tibial. You find the anterior tibial, tibialis anterior muscle. Look where the foot creases. You get those crease lines when you dorsiflex it, and you come a little bit lateral of that tendon around about those crease lines. And with any luck, there we go. One thing to be aware of there is that if you can't find a pulse, the most likely reason you can't find the pulse is because you're crap at finding pulses, or at least that's the reason I usually can't find the pulse. It is possible that you can't find it because it's not there, so you have to work on that basis. But don't start panicking if you can't find one. Try and find one of the others. If you've got a lovely big bounding triphasic pulse in the dorsalis pedis but you can't find the tibialis posterior, it is much more likely that you've just not found it than that it is not there. So you probably don't need to panic too much just on the basis of that. As far as the Dopplers are concerned, there's sort of 3 tiers of Doppler that you can get. The one that I was using there was a Huntley. They're the best ones that I've used. They cost about £200–300 quid. There's a slightly cheaper one I think Algeo sell for about 160, which is very nearly as good. Or for about 30 quid you can pick up a fetal Doppler with an 8 MHz probe, which is potato quality, but it will serve in a pinch. It is a piece of kit that you will use every day, and it is a piece of kit that when you do need it, you really do need it. So it is something that I would seriously consider investing in. But if you are clenching slightly at the idea of spending 300 quid on a piece of equipment, Get a 30 quid job, use it for a bit, get confident with it, and then hopefully you'll be more happy to buy the more expensive one. It is a really useful piece of kit. Next video I'll talk about what the sounds actually mean and what we are learning from what we hear.